Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome. So this is exciting. I want to get into this class. Whoops. And wait a minute here. I'll pull this up a bit. Oh, I hate it when my pony drops. It's like it has to be on my crown chakra. Okay. Brett says it's the Mongol in me. Awesome. I know some people are going to do the replay and couldn't make it, but I'm excited to have you to this class. And I was just saying that if you haven't listened to last month, make sure you do, because it is awesome. And this whole last month was actually about connecting to new spirits. And when the veil's thin, we are connected to spirits that come forward, spirits that want to come into our realm. And the spirits that decide to come into our realm, the Middle Earth, I'll call it, are spirits who have a purpose. And they want to manifest that purpose through us. And it's been amazing this year because so many of you have been experiencing spiritual things and spiritual energies. And this is just the beginning. So whatever you have been experiencing, know that it will grow. So really listen to the last month's class, because these spirits are here to work with us through the year. And we did do a candle. So when you listen to it, make sure you look at the candle flame when we do the ritual, when you do the ritual in the last class. So this class, I want to take you a little further. I was going to do plant divas, but I forgot which class I was doing that for. So I already did the video. So I'm just going to post the video onto our page, and we're going to do other work. So I really want to get into the magic of this month and also a few other things. So welcome. So when we connect to the energies of this month, and as we walk this month, we are walking with three different worlds. The upper world energies are here. And last month we talked about the energy of the sky. And if you look at the moon, and between you and the moon, there's like these crystals. Well, that is known as the goddess blessing us. So whenever we see those prisms in the sky or the moon rainbows, our ancestors coming, that is a power being given to us. So the last month, we were actually spiritually being blessed by the ancestors that are around us and the ancestors who have come forward to help us. And now through this month, we connect to the crone goddess. And the crone goddess has a deep connection to the underworld. So I want to talk about those three worlds this class as well. But before that, I want to talk about how this moon affects us, or this month of November. Okay, so until next class. And this is a time where we want to set protection. Last class, it was clearing. This class, we want to call in protection. And the power of this month is actually about us and our power. This is a month where we can elevate our energy, where we can activate and take our psychic levels to the next level. And we're actually going through a transformation on all levels. And as we go through this transformation, our inner self comes to surface. And that inner self is going to be connected to all things of the Dark Mother. Now, the Dark Mother and the crone, her energy likes to come, our energy and her energy connect during the times of the new moon. So our shadow selves start to rise. Well, now we're heading into the magic of November, and up until Yule, it is all dark energy, dark goddess. And so people are going to be attracted to us. And the people that are attracted to us are also going through a time of transformation, as all things, right? But we have the power to connect to all three realms. So I want you to focus your manifestations on the things that you want and connect them to the correct realms. And that's really what I want to go into is, you know, when we do money magic, for example, the upper world spirits do not answer that call. And actually, if you went into a journey to ask, how do I get out of this feeling of insecurity financially? I need money. And you went to the upper world, they would not, they would mask you. Upper world spirits are spirits that come to us and they wear cloaks. So if you ever have a vision or a dream of a cloaked figure, then it would represent an upper world spirit, but also with ancestral connection. And many of our ancestors come to us also in robes. And it also represents your DNA. Your DNA, your ancestors will come forward in whatever your DNA is, okay? So they will wear their ancient garb as well, regalia. So they would say to you to go to the underworld. And that's why people will say, well, money magic is evil. Because it's the underworld spirits that manifest our money. The underworld spirits manifest anything that we want and we desire, that we can turn into something tangible. Okay? To me, the magic of the underworld is like the minor arcana of the cards, of the tarot cards. Anything that we pick and choose in our life, we can have. But the destined magic, our gifts, our talents, our connection to the universal energy and the universal laws and the angels and the Palladians or the Galactic Confederation, whatever it is that you believe in, the higher realm spirits, don't deal with those things. So when we want more power, when we want more energy, when we need a miracle, when we're like, holy shit, like I don't even know how to deal with this, we can go to the upper world and receive the wisdom and the knowledge. So upper world spirits bring us wisdom, knowledge. They open up our gifts. They allow us to be the channel of healing power or of magical power, where the nature spirits, the underworld spirits, are the things that manifest what we desire. Can you hear me? I might have cut out there, something cut out. But either way, you'll get the recording. So as we become a heightened power, you know, most people think of the crone as this scary old lady, and she's actually very intimidating. I've had many experiences with the crone where she's come to me, and one of them was amazing. And I do want to share that. And it was really weird because in this dream, and the crone comes to us in our sleep. So you want to take note of any female that comes to you in your sleep. And she'll also come to you in real life as an older woman. And she always, when she comes to us in real life, she's always like the bluest eyed, like joy, bundle of joy old lady. And after you're done talking to her, you just know something weird happened. But this is a time where she rises within all of us. And it's like, you got to think, why does she do that? You know, people think, well, we just use, you know, we're connected to the power of the goddess because we're, you know, an energy. Well, the goddess energy, the God energy, they rise in us because they are creating something in our realm. And when we're attuned to our higher power, our divinity, our gifts, our desires, all those things that heighten us, they can work through us. So we keep that power alive. Just like we keep the power of the moon alive when we practice our magic. And so right now we are at a peak. And this peak becomes the seeds of creation of what we are walking this next year. And so the crone energy is not the dying power. The crone energy does represent death and rebirth, but her power is an almighty power. Because you have to think about the power that she holds, the wisdom and the knowledge. So as we are connecting to all three realms this month, it is very important for us to think about what we want. And it's like, yeah, we do that every month. But you know, every month we do that, we're communicating with something different. There's a different energy. And I ask for the same thing. I have things on my paper that I ask every single month. It'll never stop. And it's okay, right? But right now, the energy of the crone is blessing us with spiritual evolution. So we are in a place where we want to protect ourselves from the energies of the three worlds. Of the cold wind is what it's called. And I'll get into that a little bit. So this is a really good time for us to communicate and reassess what it is that we want and don't want in our life. And as things surface this month, yes or no. That's the rule. Okay, yes, I want this. No, I don't. I'm not dealing with this now. I give it to the universe. And you start handing the universe the things you don't and do want. You have to claim it this month. And that's part of the path. You may feel like a total redo in every aspect of your life. And it is a time for us to set for our new beginnings. So this is a time where we get to elevate. And in some way we are, actually in all ways we are, but we can put our intentions into it. The other thing is, and so I know some of you were at the full moon, is that this is the time where we need to ground and connect to the earth. Pardon me. I've been doing so much talking. So as we connect, our feet connect to the earth, and the ancient ones believed that this was a time where the earth's movement, or the earth, has tidal movement just like water. So think about how the water changes with the high tides, or the tides with the moon, which is one of the reasons why I love New Brunswick so much. Highest tides in the world, most powerful energies of the moon in the world is here in our province. But this month, the earth actually has tidal movement. And so it's just like water. And so if you take a few minutes and sit with your feet flat on the earth anytime this month and connect and let yourself like root in. I always imagine the soles of my feet just drawing down roots. And I try to wait until I feel the pulse, just like when I charge my herbs. I wait for that. And as soon as I feel that connection to the earth, and it's almost like, you know, when you put your head in the pillow and you settle in, okay, your feet do that when you connect to the power of the earth. And when we do that through this month, it is very purifying and very cleansing for the air in our blood. And so if people have blood issues, right, I'm diabetic, so this is actually a good thing for me to do. And it purifies our blood, purifies the air in our blood. And as that happens, we are meant to receive enlightenment. Okay. Let's see, where do I go from here? So it's pretty interesting as I'm connecting to where I'm going next with this. Put down in the chat, if you can, the topic that was in play last month. Was it spirituality? Was it relationships, emotional stuff, financial stress, letting go, new things, change? Put a topic that you were mainly experiencing in the last month. Okay. So in the last month's class, we were talking about drawing down the moon. And I want to kind of take that further. So it is traditional that when we are actually doing our ceremony, or when we want to connect to the power of the moon, we can draw down the moon. And so before I move on, I know that that is in the last class, so light a candle and draw down the moon and do it 3 times. And this is something that I like to do, new moon or full moon. Now I want to get into, because we are walking in all 3 worlds, this is the time where our masculine side and our feminine side are going into a place of balance and not yet together, okay? This is where the seeds of creation are taking place. And so I want to do a couple of things. One is, as we are experiencing this month, we are awakening. And there's different things that are happening. Right now, the awakening is trying to give us the energy to enjoy more balance and harmony. And we're also meant to find our flow. And that's why I say, like, weed out the things that you don't want. If it comes up, I don't want to deal with that right now unless you can and get it done. Weed it out. Because we are picking and choosing our flow. And so when we sit and have our feet on the ground, like I just talked about, and we think about the things that we really want to feel, the freedom that we want to feel, we will be able to hop into that flow. And this month is about the power of being able to take care of all of our responsibilities, but in a more joyfully and easier way. Okay. And it is about seeking our bliss. And that takes work at first, because you're weeding out, trying to break through all of the other distractions that are getting at us. But this is the time where we are naturally eliminating mental chatter and challenging emotions. And this is a time where the ancestors want us to seek peace, but to maintain that peace. And when we can go into a peaceful state, and when I mean peaceful, I'm not talking about, the Buddhists up on the mountain. You don't have to go that peaceful, okay? What I mean is just letting yourself rest, right? Like you don't need to do anything. Be in a neutral state. When you're walking your pace, you're not in a stress state speeding, and you're not in a lethargic space, but you're in your own pace. You're walking between the worlds. So it is so important for you to find your pace this month. And maybe some of you have been running. This is time to pull back and claim your space. And maybe some of you have been feeling like when I get into it, and I know that I'm starting to get grounded, my body starts to ache. And it's like everything. I could go like this and squeeze my pain. And that's when I'm like, okay, I need to like get myself back up there. Okay. So for me, I fight pain. That's my signs. As soon as I start to feel stiff and sore, I need to connect. I will not allow myself to go there. And it takes work, right? We all know how it feels. We want to go to the gym and get our sexy body, but then it's like so much work just to get there. For me, it is. So we want to let ourselves find our natural pace. You don't have to be anything you're not. You only need to be you and know what you want, not what you need. Get past the needs. We want to get past what we need. What you need, take it further, and you will receive more energy and manifestations. And it's so important for us to fight life by keeping, the focus on those things we need. So as soon as I need something, whether it's the amount of finances, I call double what I need, because I want the freedom of that. And so we have to start asking for that. And you'll see how things happen, how people come to you. The universe will guide the people. You have people are waiting for you. And so this is a time where we actually are an awakening invocation of power, being prepared. And our preparation takes place up until you. So you want to make sure that you're communicating to the universe just by thought or writing down, however it works for you, exactly what you want this next year to be on every level. And I'm going to take you a little further with that. And if it sounds way too good to be true to be thinking this way, it's even better than that. So yes, it is, that feeling of way too good to be true. Then you hit the boundary. And that's where I always know where my boundary is, because it's like, you know, before it was like, I remember when I'd win $100, right? I'd get that pitter patter and I'd be like, oh my God. Now $100 is like, now it's like, if I win 500 or 1,000, I'm like, holy, right? It's so big. So you kind of learn the jackpots that you receive and how they feel to you. That's the same as people. When the universe knows that you're ready and you're ready, they know you're ready. You're the only ones that don't know you're ready. People have what you need, just like you have what they need. Okay? And if you feel like something's not working, then where is the puzzle? Is it your price? Is it, you know, the romance, right? What is it that you're living right now that they need? When you take a look at those words, there's the magic. I guarantee you every single person around you is dealing with those topics. So it's important for you to focus your magic on that. And that's how I live, right? If I'm dealing with something, I know other people are. So I create what I need. And while I'm creating what I need, I make a dozen more, right? Or 13 more. And it doesn't matter if, you know, somebody doesn't come to me and say, hey, I need, you know, a vanishing candle, because I know that I'm going to be using them through the year. But it's just kind of this little rule of mine that when I make something, I make it, you know, I make sure I have like 13 to 24, right? And that's kind of what starts you going. So really make sure that this month you let yourself just stay neutral, find your pace. You're going through a healing time. And this is actually a time where those old traumas can actually be permanently healed and released. And so you'll notice that the outside world may feel like you can observe it and you can kind of understand the energies that are active. Okay. And so all three realms are in play. And that's why things are so crazy. Now, you've all heard of the charge of the goddess. But this month, I want us to do the invocation of Hecate. And we're going to do that this class. So I hope you have a candle going. But before that, I want to talk about some ancient things that are quite important. And I can't even remember, but these are, this is about the secrets. And it's always good to teach this and to explain this before you do the invocation of Hecate. So for her, whoever would know secrets, so whatever secrets that come to you, you must learn how to keep them secret. Certain things are meant to be secret, and some are meant to be revealed. And to reveal secret things that are not meant to be revealed can backfire, okay? And we've all heard of the things like, you know, if you do magic or something, and then all of a sudden you kind of get the karma right away. Well, our magic through this time is connected to the crone and the underworld. And so it's important for us to protect certain knowledge. And through this year, as you learn your wisdom, you're also going to learn wisdom that should not be shared. And they would say, so let me kind of say how it was said. And it may sound like, whoa, whoever would know secrets, let him know how to keep secrets, things secretly, and to reveal those things that are to be revealed, and to seal those things which are to be sealed, and not to give holy things to dogs, nor cast pearls before swine. Observe this law, and the eyes of understanding will be opened to understand secret things. And thou shalt have whatever the mind desires to be divinely revealed to thee. Thou shalt have also the angels and spirits that are ready in their nature to minister unto thee, as much as any human mind can desire. I love that. To me, it's a little hardcore, but it makes perfect sense. And so some things, and that is part of our path, are meant to be revealed. So let's do our invocation to Hecate. Let me just see. So if you have your candle, so first, before we do it out, let me explain her. So think about maiden mother crone. Okay. Well, Hecate, Hecate, was known as the goddess of magic and witchcraft, and so much more. But her functions extended beyond the realms of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and the underworld. Now think about that. The heavens, our earth realm, the seas, like the oceans, and the underworld. In the ancient days, the seas were considered a whole entire spiritual world, as was the earth, the heavens, and the underworld. How interesting is that? So people who love the ocean or who are drawn to water are definitely connected to spiritual world. So the goddess Hecate is known as one of the lesser, she's lesser known. Like a lot of people don't really know about her. And she was known as a goddess of the Greek. Okay. And there's other connections to her. So I'm talking about her powers. But she was known as a child of the Titans. And she was the only Titan to retain her control under Zeus's reign. Now, her powers transcended through boundaries of the sky, the earth, the seas, and the underworld. But what was known about her was her spheres of influence. So many people attribute her as connected to the realm of the underworld. So this is her time, okay? And Hecate was known as the goddess who could control the elements. So earth, air, fire, and water, and spirit. She could control them, and she placed them firmly in light. So she was not a dark goddess and all demonized. She used and was able to bring this into her light. And she possessed these powers that were actually later assimilated by other gods and goddesses. She could bestow wealth and blessings upon anyone that worshiped her or gave offerings to her. And this is something that is traditional. So this is a time where we get to raise our power and our connection to wealth. So we want to think about our personal power and that wealth. And what was known was her, and why is she such an amazing goddess? She had a cult, and her priestesses would worship her, but they would work on theories and magic based on the elements. So a lot of people would know her cult was known as the presence of Hecatian. So Hecate, or with an A-N on the end. So Hecatean, worship. And there is lots of cults that were dedicated to her in a lot of places. And she actually spread out all through Europe. So let's do, let me see, I feel like I lost where I was going, but let's do a little bit on her duties, and then we're going to do her call. And when we do that, when we do an invocation, we are calling to connect to that energy to work with it, for that energy to come into us, just like we call Reiki to come into us. So this goddess is known as the goddess of magic, the goddess of witchcraft, the goddess of night, the power of night, and the power of light. That's what I love about it. She is also the goddess of ghosts. I love that. This is where I love all the creepy stuff. So I know I'm going to be all excited and high about it and wanting to play with something creepy tonight. But she is the goddess of ghosts, of necromancy, and the goddess of the moon. She is also the goddess and protector of entranceways and crossroads. Duh. So whenever we feel like we are hitting a brick wall or we can't break through something, I give an offering at a crossroads. Okay. And this is the time to do that, so that any crossroads that you experience through this next year, you are protected and you won't have difficulties getting through them. And you know, it's known that the underworld spirits are the ones that stand at crossroads. So her form is a triple goddess, and her sign is a crossroads. So whenever you want to connect crossroads, okay, or the moon, or the ghost, the spirit of the home, right? But she is the one that connects us to the underworld power and to our physical world ease, okay? And that's what we want to connect with. There was something that would be said in the ancient times, and it would be Enodia, Trodia, Propilia, which is on the way, frequenter of the crossroads of the gates. And people would say that to acknowledge the spirit of crossroads, and they would be protector, or they would be protected. Enodia, Trodia, Propylea, and I'll write it, I'll put it on our page so you can see it. Okay, so let's invoke her into our life. So when we invoke her, you got to think about the Christmas gnomes, okay? Why are the gnomes always part of Christmas? Well, because gnomes represent wealth. They like to go help us get everything we want. This is also the time where there's lampades, which are a spirit. There's nymphs of the underworld around. There's ghosts. And these spirits were all known to be a gift from Zeus. to Hecate as a gift of loyalty to him. So these spirits that we work with were known to be gifts from the god Zeus. How interesting is that? Okay, let me find my invocation. Her name means worker from afar. So saying her name 3 times means you're calling forth a worker from afar. Okay. Where is it? Trying to find where it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay, before we do that, I want to talk about another thing. Another thing that is important is if you have and carry and wear a necklace of the goddess. So some of you will have a charm that you wear, and it doesn't have to be in the shape of a goddess, but traditionally when we do our full moon ceremonies, we will wear a special pendant, whether it's a moonstone or a goddess pendant. And this is traditional for a high priestess. And the goddess and wearing the jewelry is known as giving you the power of the moon goddess. And the legend says that when we wear this as a high priestess during the 13 moons, that there is a power that comes upon us. And it is known to be an ancient coven, an ancient power connected to a coven that is actually from the Arthurian times and England. And the legend is that this necklace becomes a power of possession. And it becomes a sacred talisman to the wearer. And when we wear that, we are meant to wear it like we're a witch queen. I love that. But we are meant to stand and act as if we are a queen. And it said that if anyone was to steal our necklace and put it on, it would choke them and could actually choke them to death. That's how sacred this was. But this necklace is meant to connect us to the Queen of the heaven and of the universe. So I want you to pick a necklace, a charm, a pendant that you want to wear during your full moons for the next year. Or on that day. It doesn't even have to, you can't, if you're not doing a ceremony or you're working or whatever, wear it on the day of. And so this is meant to be the first of your existence, where it is believed that the entire world and the power of the Queen of Night, of the wise ones, all have a right to know what it is that we want. And that's why this is holy, because it is our badge, our sacred talisman of our authority of what we want. And it is known that for us, we become more powerful as a witch, as a high priestess, to unlock and to be granted the privilege of the wisdom that we seek simply by touching or holding this emblem. In 13 months, this emblem is known as a horn of power. And in the old days, a lot of the pendants were made out of horn or bone, right? But it represents the connection between the worlds and the horns of the moon and the moon goddess, as well as a key and a privilege that you have within the craft. So pick something special that you can dedicate as your high priestess, crown or crown pendant. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to do the charge. So look at your candle. Let me get mine. And you want to have your feet flat on the ground whenever we do charges. And you want to practice the charges, like even the charges of the full moon, this charge, the charge from the last class, drawing down the moon, because you want to learn how to feel when the presence comes. Okay, so listen to it. You can repeat after me. My chair is rolling downhill, and look at your candle. And you want to try to see orange around your flame. I stand at the crossroads of heaven, hell, and earth. And I open the western gate to walk the path of Hecate, queen of all witch flame, mother of gods, goddess of the night. Hear my prayer and come to me. Bestow your blessings upon my soul. Who seeks knowledge and power of the witch gods. Lady of witch fire, guide me on the paths of the night with your torch. Embrace me in ecstasy of possession and grant me the keys to the wisdom of the trident. Goddess of the crossroads of the soul, in your name and power, I open the lunar gate in love and honor. I offer my body as the temple for your eternal essence, so that I could rise with your sacred fire. No longer a creature of clay, but a child of witch flame. Lady of all witchcraft, ignite my blood with your divine touch. Charge it with your blessings. Let me drink from your cup, which is the source of all magic and all power. First among the gods, open the gates to the night side realm, so that I can descend to the depths of hell through the path of the ancient ones and the ancient craft, keeper of the secret keys. Come from your ancient throne, from the worlds beyond time, and reveal to me forgotten secrets, the wisdoms of the heaven, the earth, and even hell. Queen of shadows, enter through the gates of flesh, through the heights and the depths, and let your flame guide me on the paths of light and of darkness. Hecate, first dragon of the void, awaken the spark within my soul so that I can carry your torch throughout the day and night. So mote it be. So that charge you can do whenever you feel like you're at a crossroads, whenever you feel like you need to reconnect with some power. Like sometimes we feel like our power isn't very strong or our magic is like lacking. But just doing that charge through this month. Now, maybe you want to do it by yourself as well. Allows you to have the power you need whenever you light your candle. So every time you light a spell candle, I always think from this point on, I'll mentally call her Hecate, 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 and I light my candle. Okay. Unless I'm working with a different spirit, if I'm lighting a spell candle, I like to call her, especially if you're working with trauma, if you're working with anything that has to do with darkness of the body, mind, and heart, we can call upon her. And if there is ever any type of victimhood, where there is any type of assault, abuse, she is the goddess that heals us. And she was one of the first goddesses, I believe, that was able to set me free. And I love her. So this month, work with your crone energy. Let me see. I was also going to do, let me see what I had here. I had so much stuff up. I was going to talk a little bit about the middle and upper world, the three worlds. trying to think of how I can do that, because that is going to take a lot more time. I'm going to post something on it this month. Okay. And then I would still like to take it further and do some journeying. So I know I don't like doing like the meditations in class. So what I'll do is I'll get those journeying upper underworld into our class and you can listen to them. And I think I already have them done. If not, I'll make either Brett, I'll probably make Brett do them. It's awesome. And then I want to do the next month. I want to do the 3 goddess caverns. So I want you to tell me if you were able to actually get anything in these meditations, these journeys. And if you were able to see something, or even if it's just an apple, you know, who knows? But if you were able to get one thing you connected to that world. And then I want to do the Maiden Mother Crone, because that even takes us further. And the crone can be intimidating, but I love it. So one thing you have to understand is the spirits that we're talking about. I know that you heard hell in the invocation, okay? We are not connecting to any spirits that are negative. We are only connecting to the spirits that are aligned and connected to us. Doing this invocation actually keeps us protected from anything in all realms that exist that are negative. And, you know, not all spirits are negative or positive, okay? There's some, you know, pretty, you know, just anything spirits, right? Whatever human mind created, there's a spirit for that. Actually, that's pretty funny, but it's true. So I don't want you to be fearful of anything. You are amazing people. You want good things, okay? You don't have to worry about, you know, any other religions, demons, or anything out there. We are connecting this month to the spirits that are helping us and have already connected to us last month. I'm going to pull a card for us and then I'll let you go. Okay, so let's see our magic for this month. Okay, what are we attracting? So now we'll see what energies rise this next month, from this class to next month. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. That's the exact energy that we need to put into our mind, into our heart, and into our body. And when you're doing that, if you hear doubts and worries and fears, you have to break through. I used to tell my fears to fuck off. I'd sit there and say, I want this, and then be like, well, you can't have that. And then I'd be like, fuck you. And then I'd say it again. And I would literally do that to myself mentally until I got control and I won, right? Like, it is going to go that way. Fear and doubt don't speak unless there is purpose in what you're doing. So keep that in mind, okay? So claim your power this month, and nope, I'm not dealing with that now. And when you say, nope, I'm not dealing with that, you're waiting until the easy solution comes to you. Okay, that's what we want. We want the answer and the solution that is good for you, not whatever you're dealing with. Okay, so with that, I'm going to let you go this month and have a great month. Have fun, connect, and make sure you listen to the last class. Okay, love y'all. Many blessings. Talk soon. Bye-bye. This will be posted tomorrow.